Frankie's Friends was celebrating another year of saving pets whose families could not afford the cost of life-saving veterinary care. Here are some of their stories. Meet Sandy and Emma. The day before Sandy's mother's funeral, her dog Emma got off her leash and was struck by a car.
She was in pretty bad shape. We didn't know whether to put her to sleep or just go ahead and treat her. And all of her skin was gone. All of this hair was gone completely. She had some broken ribs, cuts and bruises. Her whole stomach was bruised. I sat down with Dr. Salas and she told me that there was nothing else they could do. They would have to do the skin grafts. And by that time, we had already exhausted all of our funds. There was just no way. So she suggested to us that there was a foundation that could possibly help her and get through the rest of the surgeries that she needed. And that's where Frankie's Friends came in. I mean, Frankie's Friends really helped us, and it's a great, great cause. She's like, it's like my baby. So, and yeah, she's just wonderful. I don't know what I would have done if I had to put her down. It was pretty rough, really, really rough. And you know, my mother's name was Emma, so I thought I was going to bury them both the same day, which was really, really, really rough. But she made it, so this is my little Emma now. So, and it's just a great, great organization.
Losing a loved one is something we're all too familiar with. For the future Mr. and Mrs. McCormick, a fire took everything, from the bride's wedding dress to every other worldly possession they once had, except the loved ones that mattered most.
I was in Detroit for a teaching conference, and I get a phone call from my mom, and she says, "I think your apartment's on fire."
I just wake up, the door being broken through, just smashed in. And, you know, I can't see anything. I open up my eyes, I'm cold and so I'm asleep, and I wake up and I see his firefighter yelling at me to get out, and he's just wall of smoke. And within a couple minutes, the whole thing went up like a matchbox. And then after that, for the next 45 minutes or so, it just burned. And the cats were inside the whole time. I kind of lost it. And then but the firefighters were able to get them out. You know, I had never had to use an emergency vet before. Every time I went to the vet, it was, you know, my animal wasn't feeling good or was get a shot. You know, this was truly an emergency. They needed to get in there now.
I would say that Frankie's Friends helped me emotionally because I was not here, and I felt like even if I wasn't here with my animals, that somebody else cared and somebody else was going to come through and really help us out.
There's a special place in our hearts for many members of our armed services. One of our service members ran into unexpected trouble upon returning home from deployment when his dog Kanan suddenly became critically ill.
I came back from deployment in Afghanistan with the Army, the 689th Engineer Company, and we went on a family vacation in California, and we had to put him in a kennel for 10 days while we were gone. Once we got back, we went to go pick him up at the animal clinic, and the vet called me that morning and said that there was something wrong. I needed to come get him right away. His stomach flipped. He said he recommended I take him to Blue Pearl right away. It was just a cluster of emotions. I mean, I was driving there and I was thinking to myself, he's dying, and I don't have a way to fix him. It's like a preventable, it's like an injury. It's fixable, but I don't have the means to fix him, you know. And then Frankie's Friends. I don't know, when I called home and said that
he was crying really hard, and I thought that they had put the dog down. And he kept trying to tell me that they were going to pay for the surgery, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. I said, "I can't understand you. I can't understand you." And finally he got out. They're going to pay for the surgery.
Unbelievable. I was just so much in awe that, you know, who does things like this for people that they don't know? You know what I mean? No one, they don't know me. They never met me before, never saw my face, never talked to me. They're gonna help me pay to save a member of my family. I mean, just out of kindness. and it just doesn't. I hadn't seen kindness in a year, you know, and was overwhelmed with emotion when I was told that they were gonna, and Frankie's Friends was gonna take care of Kanan.
Frankie's Friends was named for one of Candy and Ed DeBartolo's beloved dogs, Frankie, a wonderful greyhound who is filled with spirit and life. And we would like to especially thank the DeBartolo family for their inspiration and their support. Because of donors like you, life and good health can be shared by families less fortunate, loving families whose pets also deserve life-saving care. Thank you for your help saving pets. Thank you for being one of Frankie's Friends.